One of the most popular trends in eating these days is the keto diet. It's linked with everything from weight loss to better brain functioning. What can we learn from this diet? I'm Josie Boulding, and welcome to this week's 5 for 5. We're going to talk about what it really means to be in ketosis, and we're going to make a delicious keto brownie full of gooey chocolate and low in carbohydrates. Keto is short for ketogenic. Normally our body uses carbohydrates for fuel, but when you're in a state of ketosis, you're actually burning your fat for fuel. Generally, a keto diet aims for about 70% of its calories from fat, 25% from protein, and 5% from carbs. That's roughly 30 grams daily, which equals about a half a bagel. That means no fruit, no starchy vegetables, rice, milk, beans, or bread. That pretty much cancels out every drink except water, coffee, tea. It sounds like a really hard diet to keep up, but keto diets actually include a lot of variety. One of the things I found, because I'm a little bit of a chocoholic, is the keto brownie. You would think of brownies as a high carbohydrate food, but they've kind of fixed that by using the main source of the brownie coming from the black soybean. So the interesting thing that I learned is black soybeans are very high in fiber. So although in a half a cup there is 8 grams of carbohydrate, once you subtract the 7 grams of fiber, you're only getting 1 gram of carbohydrate. So this is a great thing for keto recipes, black soybeans. There's also organic cocoa powder, the raw stuff, so that it still has the fiber, free-run eggs, butter, which is on the keto diet. Isn't that good news? And our sweetener is monk fruit, which adds 0 carbohydrates. And the coolest thing about making these brownies is you can do it all in your Vitamixer or blender in one step, super fast, super easy, and delicious. And if you want to, you can add some stevia sweetened dark chocolate chips. The ketogenic diet was originally designed for people who were epileptic, but most recently it's been used for cardiovascular patients, people with diabetes, and also people who just want to lose weight. Because the ketogenic diet is relatively new, there are very few studies on using it as a long-term lifestyle change. A recent study followed people who had epilepsy and were also on a keto diet. It followed them for 10 years and didn't show any adverse effects. Although other studies show following a keto long-term is hard on your organs and increases cardiovascular risk. I think the takeaway is that the jury is still out. Doing the research for this show, one of the most interesting things I learned is that the Inuit and Eskimo are the only population on the planet that eat a diet that is already naturally ketogenic. They mostly eat animal fat and protein. The interesting thing is they actually have a gene mutation that makes it impossible for them to go into a keto state. So there's 4 takeaways from this episode. Number 1 is look at the type of carbohydrate. I would say when you're reading the back label, see how much fiber there is compared to the carbohydrate. Quality carbohydrate is what we're looking for. Number 2 is fat is okay. There are some really good sources of fat. So choose things like olive oil, organic butter, coconut oil, and get a real variety in your diet. Number 3 is leafy greens. Make sure you eat lots of big salads because you're getting all your fiber, your micronutrients, and they're low in carbohydrate. They make a great platform for your protein as well. And the last one is watch for hidden carbohydrate. This is one that tripped me up. I often would snack on low-fat dairy with maybe like a low-fat yogurt with nuts sprinkled on top. But it turns out that when they make low-fat dairy, they often add extra sugar and powdered milk and things that spike the carbohydrate level because there's not a lot of fiber in yogurt. Also be careful of nuts. Certain nuts have more fiber than others. Best to stick with almonds and skip the cashews. I think after doing all this research, the keto diet is way too extreme for me. I really like my fruit and veg, but I think the problem most people have is sticking with it. I think in those cases, if you just start paying more attention to what you eat, that would be a really good start. Because I think the best diets are the ones you can stick with. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next week.